Hey guys, welcome back. So I left off right here. The point I was trying to get across was when the electron is completely ripped off from one atom and the other atom takes it, then that is called a ionic bond. Okay, the bond between the two atoms. Because when this interaction happens, the compound made is lithium fluoride. Okay, and you see how these, when put together, they cancel the charges out, and you get this. Now, that's called ionic, and you should be able to know that. And depending on how many electrons it has to lose and how many electrons it has to gain, you should be able to know in what combinations they combine. Okay, so for example, for sakes, let's say that fluorine wants to lose 2. Okay, in chemistry, this doesn't really want to lose 2. Okay, but just for say, okay. Now the combination would be, you need 2 lithiums to satisfy the fluorine's need of 2 electrons. Okay, so now it would be lithium 2, fluorine 1. You don't really write the subscript 1, but just know it's there. Alright, and that's basically the idea. Now covalent bonds are when they share electrons, so they complete this. They complete their orbital. Okay, so they can have this this number of electrons as the same as the noble gases, but the difference is that it doesn't completely rip it off. It just shares it. So you don't really need to know all the specifics yet, but just have the idea. Now, one thing I wanted to mention as well, which is important, was the layout. These here are the nonmetals. These are the metalloids, and these are the metals. Hydrogen is considered a metal. Now, one thing that I wanted to, an idea I wanted to give you, which is, it isn't something that you have to know, but it's just a good thing to get you thinking. All right, these are called metals. Okay, but this element, okay, elements, remember, is like the flavor of ice cream, and the atom is just the scoop. So let's talk about the atom. The atom in itself cannot be considered a metal, okay? Because when you think of a metal, you think of the characteristics of it being hard, it conducting heat, and conducting electricity, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking about nonmetals. Forgive me. Nonmetals do not conduct heat, do not conduct electricity, and are malleable, okay? They bend, you could say. Now, these nonmetals, when you have just one atom, it's not really going to give you that characteristic of a nonmetal. It's only when you have a cluster of atoms that it's going to give you that characteristic. Or when you have a cluster of metals, you have a characteristic of a metal. Let me give you an example. Water. What is the characteristic of water? Water is wet. Now, let's think about it. Water is H2O. I'm pretty sure you've heard of this. H2O. It means it has an oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen. Okay? A water molecule. A water molecule isn't wet in itself. If you have a water molecule on your book, it's not going to make it wet. It's not going to tear it apart or give you water damage. Okay? The characteristic of wet, that wet characteristic, comes from the cluster of molecules. Okay? So you're not really ever going to be tested on that, but it's just something to get you thinking, to get you really thinking about the properties and how we classify things. That was basically all I wanted to finish talking about. Next video, I think I will be talking about nomenclature, which is basically how we name compounds. Until then, take care, guys.